did you get that? How much do I pay you for that? I want to buy it from you. Are you dumb?
r/Entitled Parents. What is up, guys? Mr. Reddit here, back with another episode of Entitled Parent Stories. r/Entitled Parents is one of my favorite subreddits, and I really enjoyed making this. Now kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Our first story we'll be reading today, entitled Step Grandma Ruins My Graduation Party Because I Didn't Share the Attention with My Sisters. This story comes from user Wolves Are Fun. After that, we'll be reading entitled Mom Tries to Steal My Laptop for Her Kid, Gets Arrested Instead. And this story comes from user Call Me Wolf Boy. After that, we'll be reading entitled Dad Has Special Permission. Where have we heard that before? And this story comes from user Majorette K. After that, Mommy, I want that blue wristband thingy, from user McKinetic. And then we'll be finishing up with Mother Lies About Her Daughter's School Achievements to Her Teacher Without Knowing It, from user Pavlexander. Thank you to our amazing authors for letting us read their stories, and welcome to our newest members of the Re-Army, Romana, That One Nerd at School, and Lomo, and Raptor Prime, who literally just showed up right now. And if you're new, join the Re-Army by subscribing for new stories from Reddit every single day. Entitled Step Grandma Ruins My Graduation Party Because I Didn't Share the Attention with My Sisters. Hello, I just gained enough karma, so here I am, and apologies for any formatting errors. I hope you'll enjoy this annoying entitled Step Grandma. Background: I have an amazing mother and father, never married, and a bit of a jerk stepdad. I tolerate him because he's family. And although we disagree on a lot of stuff, it's at least a long-term relationship. He had 2 daughters with my mother, and they visit their grandmother often. We talk once in a while, but not very much for various reasons, including her entitled attitude, hence my attitude towards this 2-day event. This happened almost exactly a year ago. Our cast, we've got my mom, entitled Step Grandma, entitled Half Sister, not too entitled in the story, she's just mean in real life, nice-ish half-sister, family members, other people at the party, and me, Wolves Are Fun, the poor victim in this tragedy. 2 weeks before graduation party, my mom tells me, "Hey, V, I just wanted to rant your ear off a bit. So, apparently, entitled Grandma invited herself over to stay the night for graduation." What? But we already have like 5 other family members staying the night. I'm already getting kicked out of my own bed for 2 weeks because of family members. I'm already going to have to sleep on the floor. Can't you tell her to wait until the day after? I know, and I'm sorry. She acts like she's the only out-of-town visitor staying the night. You know she won't take no for an answer. Ugh, fine. As long as she doesn't try anything. I suppose I'll be fine for it for one night. I know my attitude wasn't good, but I know entitled Grandma well. And I was also already in a bit of a bad mood. Plus, I hardly talked to entitled Grandma, so I was a little upset with the idea of her staying here for a night. I reluctantly drop the subject and continue making plans for my graduation party. Night before party.
Hello, dearies. Here's your graduation presents.
Hands out Barbie toys to entitled sister and nice sister. Keep in mind though, although entitled sister is graduating to junior high, nice sister is only moving up a grade, and she doesn't give me a present or any money. Hey, entitled Grandma, I'm laying out the spare air mattress for you. There's food in the fridge, but please keep out of the containers with post-it notes on them. That's for the party tomorrow. Entitled Grandma doesn't respond and goes into the kitchen while my half-sisters play with their new Barbies. I went to bed since I knew that I, an extreme introvert, would need as much energy as possible for the next day. I really regretted. Party day. Family members. Congratulations, Wolves Are Fun! Let's bring out the cake. When the cake is put on the table, entitled Grandma proceeds to take the knife and start cutting a slice. Excuse me, entitled Grandma, I'd like the first slice of my graduation cake.
No, you got to choose the design, so it's only fair that the little ones get the first slices.
Mom has had enough and goes on a rant about how this was my party and if Entitled Grandma doesn't give her the knife, she would kick her out. Entitled Grandma was not pleased with this and screams about how I was an attention hoarder and how I wasn't giving the other children their share of the attention. She screams that the other children deserve the same treatment because they are graduating too. Entitled Sister starts crying over the fact that she isn't getting any cake. Full-blown tantrum. Keep in mind, she's almost a freaking teenager. The other family members are staring and embarrassed. Nobody comes in to help because in all of the passionate conversation, Entitled Grandma is waving the knife around like a total idiot. After what felt like an hour of arguing, Mom decided that the argument was going nowhere, snatched the knife from Entitled Grandma, and gave me my well-earned chocolate cake slice with sprinkles while Entitled Grandma tried to snatch the knife back. It tasted like a slice from heaven itself. Once I got my slice, I was stupid enough to turn around and walk to my seat. Entitled Grandma was so obsessed with my piece of cake that she races up behind me and smacks the plate out of my hand. She then stormed off, leaving a crowd of stunned people. I was almost in tears due to her BS. After a moment of pure silence, Mom came over and hugged me and gave me the next slice. Nice Sister sat next to me and tried to cheer me up, but it was no use. I was still polite to the other family members, but my day was ruined. I was extremely grateful for them coming to the party and giving me presents and graduation money, but Entitled Grandma's actions really hurt my feelings. The next few hours felt like forever. I'll admit, I was kind of a wimp when it comes to my feelings getting hurt, but man, I was hella excited for that slice of cake. But wait, there's more. After most of the other family members left, it was just me, my immediate family, 4 other very close relatives, and Entitled Grandma. I left the party for a bit of well-earned me time and decided to eat some of my copycat Starbucks iced lemon pound cake. When I looked around the fridge, I couldn't find it anywhere. I was hysterical. I admittedly started ugly crying over all of this. I was in denial. There was no way Entitled Grandma ate an entire freaking cake. I was, surprisingly, partially correct. I found a single small slice of it left in the very back with a post-it note with the writing Entitled Grandma on it. I was furious. So mad that I forgot how hungry I was. Confronting her was much more important. I confronted her, and she said that since I didn't give Entitled Grandma any of the graduation cake, Entitled Grandma, Entitled Sister, and Nice Sister ate the cake. After all, they deserved a cake just like me. They did not share with any of the other family members. I was heartbroken. I felt defeated. After she left, I cried in my room for about an hour. Mom walked in, red as a fire truck. "Did you eat all the freaking lemon cake without us?" "No! Entitled Grandma, Entitled Sister, and Nice Sister ate it all." Mom's face went white and then flushed with embarrassment. "Oh my God, are you serious? I'm so sorry, wolves are fun. I had no idea. I wanted to bring it out, but we couldn't find it. I thought maybe you ate it all." "No, I didn't even get a single slice." "Oh, honey. Well, I don't know if it'll make you feel better, but there is one slice left with Entitled Grandma's name on it. She forgot to take it home. It's your cake. You should have it." "Really? Yes, please." I raced into the kitchen and scarfed down my lemon cake slice. Nice Sister later came in and apologized. Apparently, Entitled Grandma said that I let them have the cake. Entitled Sister still won't admit to eating it, but the whole ordeal was awful. If only Entitled Grandma wasn't so darn entitled, maybe this all could have gone better. Sorry, no happy ending. I still refuse to forgive her. I still have to talk to her and visit her for the holidays, but I've moved on. But I definitely don't let my pushover parents make the guest list for my parties anymore. All guests need to be approved by me when it comes to my parties. Still, I'm a bit crappy over my graduation. Next up we've got Entitled Mom tries to steal my laptop for her kid, gets arrested instead. I posted this before, but I don't think it posted, so here you go. Now, I know you've seen a lot of these types of posts, but bear with me here, because it's not only a long one, it's my first one, and it doesn't have a happy ending. Cast, we've got Entitled Mom, Entitled Brad, me, Mom, Brother, Police Officer 1 and Police Officer 2. Starting off the story, my mom had her friends over for dinner because she hasn't seen them in 5 years, and they have a 4-year-old kid. Also, the mom has a super big, "Where is the manager?" look. Anyways, they come over, and I eat dinner. Because I'm the nice host, I ate with my guests. Also, anytime I have anyone over, I lock my door from the outside if I'm out and inside if I'm in. And my door is damaged because I slammed it once and a part on the side came off. There isn't a big hole in the door. So I see entitled brat running towards my room, and I don't think anything about it because it's locked. I have my gaming PC in there. It's a laptop. Important later. Then I hear a door open, and I'm very protective of my stuff, so I get up off the dinner table to see my door open, and I'm thinking, what? How? Turns out the kid unlocked the door. How? I don't even know. He goes into my room and sees my gaming chair and immediately climbs up on it and then tries to climb up to my desk where my laptop is. I freak out and I grab him and put him on the ground, trying not to hurt him, and I say, "Entitled Brad, you cannot climb on my belongings like that."
Why not?
This kid said nut, but he's 4. Because it's expensive and you could break it.
So?
Just get out. So the kid leaves the room, and not 40 seconds later, I hear,
Excuse me?
and I kid you not, this woman stomped to my room like Godzilla, then entered very calmly with entitled Brad.
Why won't you let my son play?
What? He never said anything about play. He was just climbing on.
I don't give a crap. Let my son play on your computer, and you're too old to be playing anyway.
I'm 13. Entitled Mom, all my games are 18 plus. I can't let him.
Again! I don't care. Just let him play whatever.
So she left without entitled Brat and just said forget it and let him play and choose whatever game. I swear on my life, I should have just put on cool math games because this little jerk clicked on the first game he saw in Steam, which was The Forest, horror survival game. And I was like, crap. Not actually. Not kidding. Literally 5 minutes into the game, he doesn't know what to do and just slams my mouse. And I was like, oh crap, bro, that's a no-no. And I jump in front of my laptop trying to be the shield, and he literally punches me. I don't care because it didn't hurt. Then when he realizes I won't let him play, he runs out to his mother and she excuses herself again, walks calmly to my door and shuts it quietly and starts screaming like my mom couldn't hear it, and it was a soundproof room. But my mom was outside calling someone, so forget me, my mom's deaf. Anyway, I'm much taller than entitled Mom, still important later, so the convo goes like this.
I thought I told you to let my son play.
Yes, I did, but
No buts. You let my son play again, right freaking now.
he tried slamming my stuff, and don't interrupt me. He tried slamming my mouse and destroying it.
I don't care about your mouse.
Starts unplugging the PC. What are you doing? Get out of my house. Pulling her off while her child is trying to climb it again. I pulled the kid off.
How dare you touch my child, you creep.
She slapped me, and I'm in disbelief. Entitled Mom then manages to pull my computer off and starts walking away till I turn around from disbelief. What the heck do you think you're doing? At this point, my mother comes into the room. Mom grabs laptop. What is going on here?
Your son wouldn't let my son play games on his Xbox, so we took it. And he's too old to play games anyway.
Give my son his laptop back right now, please. Me, with the biggest smirk on my face, I open my mouth and yell, You ugly freaking cow, Karen, jerk face! Get the heck out of my house!
No.
Entitled Mom starts calling someone.
Yes, hello. I have a guy here who just touched my child and is verbally harassing me and assaulting me.
In the most whimpery voice ever.
It is at this address and is a woman and a man. No weapons, no. Yes, I'm safe right now.
Okay, thank you. We didn't do anything about it, but she called the cops. The freaking cops. So the cops come. Cop 1 is a male, cop 2 is a female. Not important, just trying to paint the picture. Cop 1 is talking to my mother. Excuse me, miss. Were you the one who...
Yes, I'm the one who called. Oh my lord, they assaulted my son. And me.
I'm standing right next to my mother. I have no clue what she's talking about. Please wait while she's talking. Entitled Mom attempts to explain everything, even how I stopped her kid from climbing on my desk, how she hit me, how I yelled at her, how I pulled her kid off my desk. Cop 2 was like, it sounds like you've made a pretty bad image for yourself, considering it's his house, and your kid was climbing on his stuff, so he had every right to hit him, so you're pretty much at fault if you ask me. This is pretty stupid. You're right. Now, for some reason, this made Entitled Mom super duper mad.
Did you just call me stupid?
No, ma'am.
Who the heck do you think you are?
She tries to tackle the officer, and it's the most cringy thing when she just falls off of him. And you're going to jail. Edit. Officer didn't actually say this. Forgot to edit that in. Sorry. Cuffs him and asks if I would like to press charges. I said no and just wanted her to leave my house. I never saw Entitled Mom again, and I never saw her on the news for some reason. And you thought this was going to be a bad ending. Have a good day, everyone. Edit 2. For all the people saying it's fake, you have the right to your own opinion, and I will respect you. But don't spam fake in the comments or downvote. It would be much appreciated. And PM me what you think is fake. Much love. Edit 3. The bad ending part was a joke. Otherwise, I would have edited it. Not a funny one, though. Much love. Oh, I thought it was funny. The whole story was awesome. Next up, we've got Entitled Dad Has Special Permission. Where have we heard that before? Characters in this fine story are Entitled Dad, Innocent Kid, me, my boss, and supervisor. Too long didn't read at the bottom. I work at a virtual reality lab at a university library where students can come unwind and play VR games for free. They can also develop and test their games on our system. However, due to the sensitive nature of financing for VR systems at the moment, we limit our VR users to 18 and up, so our equipment is less accident-prone in the hands of younger users, and also so entitled parents can't sue us if their kids get hurt. Makes sense, right? This policy is clearly detailed on our site and on a poster near our station. Some students have tried to bring their younger siblings or parents with their kids, and every time I am to say that we have a policy against it, but are looking into waivers in the future. Most completely understand and will calmly leave without any harsh feelings. One day, as I was a new employee at the station, this was one of my first shifts alone without guidance from my supervisor. We didn't have many reservations. The one we did have, I recognized as a guy who came to our station frequently over the summer, so I didn't think much about it. When he arrives, he has his son in tow, who he had brought to watch before, but Innocent Kid usually sits with a DS and plays quietly, to which I didn't acknowledge, as he has been to the station before and knew the rules. I began setting up the headset for his use. Entitled Dad tells his kid, "You ready to play, buddy?" Innocent Kid is clearly dancing with excitement. Excuse me, sir, we have a policy. No one under 18. What? No, I called in and asked earlier, and someone said it was okay. Do you know who? I thought perhaps someone didn't tell me, and he actually did have permission. Did you get the name of the person you got permission from? It's okay, Daddy. You can just play and I'll watch. No, I was given special permission from the library. He can play today. I called and everything. He was clearly becoming agitated since I said his child couldn't play, and so I gave my supervisor a quick text that explained the situation. However, there was no speedy reply, so I called my boss. When my boss picked up, I explained the situation to them as well. My boss told me to ask what number they called, and I relayed this question to the entitled dad. He showed me a call history call, and I relayed the number to my boss. That number was not even related to any lines to the library, and my boss quickly said if he wanted his kid to play, he would have to go to their boss, and told me where the entitled dad could find them. I explained this to the entitled dad, and that he could still play and his kid could watch. But I gave him directions to where he could get the permission, and he seemed okay with that answer. He began putting on the headset to use. The headset is blurry. Is there any way you can fix it? This can happen because the lenses on the inside are beveled with your eyes, If not lined up correctly, it's a whole blurry mess. If you pull the headset down a little more on your face so that it sits straight, it should look better. If not, try adjusting the pupil distance dial on the side for better vision. He completely ignored my first piece of advice, though I could clearly see the headset wasn't seated correctly. He begins fiddling with the dial and getting more worked up when it doesn't work. He played with it for about 10 minutes. It's now 30 minutes into his hour reservation.
Where did you say I could go for that permission?
I kindly gave him the information as to what office and what building he needed to go to. His reservation was the last slot available before we closed.
When do you close?
At around 4 p.m.
Come on, buddy. We are going to go see if we can get you in this headset and pay Mr. Boss's boss a visit.
He gives me a disgusted look, like it was my fault these were the rules, and stalks off in the direction I pointed him in. Meanwhile, my supervisor finally texts me back saying that he was lying and he clearly knew the rules. Apparently, he had tried to pull the same stunt over the summer with them, but got nowhere with it. They rushed out to see if I still needed help, but the entitled dad had already left and they apologized that it happened while I was alone on shift. On my next shift, we got word from boss's boss that entitled dad did make it there and argued that his child should be able to play. However, he was quickly shut down as we never grant these kinds of permission to anyone, and we never heard anything else regarding the subject of what happened to entitled dad. He has never made another reservation at the station again. Next up, we've got...
Mummy, I want that blue wristband thingy.
Second time posting here. This happened just about a week ago. This might be a tad bit long, so if you don't want to read such wall of texts, Too Long Didn't Read is at the bottom. So first off, the cast. We've got entitled mom, entitled kid, my beautiful girlfriend, tenant 1, tenant 2, manager, and nice dad. First, let me give some context. My girlfriend's family invited me over to their annual family reunion. The reunion was being held in a city 12 hours away from where I live, so me and my girlfriend planned a trip that would include multiple stopovers at multiple cities, ultimately ending up at the reunion. Since it's already summertime in our country, and it was really hot, we decided to include a stop over to a water park in a particular city. It was our last stopover before heading to the reunion. Upon arriving at the last city we were supposed to be, we decided to go to one of the malls to buy a few things. Sunscreens, water, extra sets of clothes, etc. And lucky us, there was a summer promo being offered by the particular water park that would save us some money. I'd like to point out that at this particular juncture of the trip, we were trying our best to be frugal with our spending, just due to the fact that we didn't have that much of a budget coming in. We happily bought it and stayed over for the night in the city over some cheap inn. The next day is when we had our planned trip to the water park. The weather was perfect for swimming, and we were excited since it was our first time visiting the beautiful water park. The water park opened at 10 a.m., and we got there by about 9:30 a.m. We checked in and had to rent a locker since it was only the two of us and we didn't bring that much stuff. Now this information here is important. Upon renting a locker, we were given a key for the lock and a blue wristband that will hold the key inside. Wasn't able to take a picture of it, sorry if there's no visual reference. The attendant gave us instructions on how to insert the key and that it should always be worn as they are designed that way to prevent the key from falling off. To be honest, it really wasn't that fashionable, and it was way too bulky. But I digress. We were also told that if the key was lost, or if the wristband was damaged or destroyed, we would be paying for them. After finishing prep, wearing the appropriate swimwear, applying sunscreen, etc., we then headed out to the wave pool and onto some slides and rides. The first few hours were quite fun, and there were a lot of fun slides and rides that we took. It was about past 12 when we decided to take a break. We were also hungry, so we decided to go grab lunch. The fast food area was packed and the lines were long, but after 15 to 20 minutes, we were able to get our food. Enter entitled mom and entitled kid. As we were about to eat, I see entitled kid at the edges of my vision pointing towards us, so I naturally looked at their way to see what it was. Then entitled mom and entitled kid approached us to our seat, and the following conversation ensued.
Excuse me?
With a high-pitched voice. We look over towards them while chewing our food. Entitled mom points at the wristband.
Where did you get that?
My girlfriend says, "It was given to us when we rented a locker. It's supposed to hold the key inside." Entitled Mom gives us a look as if we were lying.
Really? How much did you pay for it?
My girlfriend was confused. For the locker rental? Or
That thing!
points at the wristband again. We didn't buy it. It was given to us when we...
I don't care about the locker. I just want to know how much that is and where you bought it.
Ma'am, if you haven't heard her the first time, it was given to us. It's not being sold anywhere here. At this point, my girlfriend was being silent, as she's not really comfortable with confrontations. Entitled Kid, whining in a high-pitched voice now.
Mommy, I want that.
Entitled Mom looks at me.
Okay. How much do I pay you for that?
Excuse me?
I want to buy it from you. Are you dumb?
Ma'am, it's not for sale. This isn't something we bought. It was simply given to us.
Then you just shut up and just give me the wristband. Entitled Kid wants it. You should be considerate with kids as good as him.
No. It's not for sale, nor are we giving it to you. We'll be liable for it if we can't return it. Entitled Mom, clearly upset that she's not getting her way.
Why are both of you so rude? I'm simply asking for the wristband so Entitled Kid will be happy. I'll be happy to pay for it.
I ignored her after that, which I think was a big mistake, because what happened next was that she grabbed my arm and started yanking the wristband off of me.
What are you doing? Get off of me.
Trying to push her off. I was also kind of shouting at this point. Girlfriend is panicking at this moment and asked for help. Two tenants noticed the commotion and hurriedly came over to our table. They break us up, and the following ensued. What's going on here?
He stole Entitled Kid's wristband. I was trying to get it back, but he won't admit to it.
Tenant 2 calls for someone, which I presume was the manager, then asked me a question. Is that true, sir? No way. That's ridiculous.
Shut up! You're lying. Give that back to Entitled Kid.
The manager shows up. What's wrong here? Entitled Mom gives the exact same crap she said to the tenant. That's not true. This was given to us over at the locker rental area, and she wanted us to give it to Entitled Kid for no reason. Apparently someone is lying here. Let's go to the security office and check some footage. Me and my girlfriend gladly obliged to this request. Entitled Mom was still trying to convince manager that I was lying and she was telling the truth. But manager wasn't having any of it. We came over to the office and checked the footage. And sure enough, it was determined that Entitled Mom was lying. Manager also noticed that the wristband was damaged as it had a huge tear on the side. Manager then called on security to kick out Entitled Mom off the Waterpark and had her pay for the damaged wristband. As for the Entitled Kid, it turns out his nice dad was also in the Waterpark. Nice dad apologized to us for what had happened and offered us money to pay for our lunch to compensate for the inconveniences. Manager also gave us free lunch and replaced the damaged wristband with a new one, so the money offered to us by the father was saved for later. I think the father and Entitled Kid also went home after a few minutes of Entitled Mom being kicked out. I also don't know if Entitled Mom was banned from the place. We were not quite sure, as after everything, we just enjoyed the rest of the day through the pool and some slides. And our final story of the day. Mother lies about her daughter's school achievements to her teacher without knowing it. I mainly work as a teacher, but since teachers get paid horribly, I usually have a second part-time job. Last winter, that part-time job happened to be at an ice rink which has a small restaurant for visitors. It is possible for us to have organized children's birthday parties in cooperation with the ice rink. The ice rink has public visiting times and times where it's just used for ice hockey and figure skating practice. During those times, we can't arrange birthday parties since the ice is closed for public usage. This time, a lady came in rather late and asked me if she could arrange a birthday party for her daughter. I got one of the forms which I have to fill for this, asked for her name, the amount of children expected and their shoe sizes, which rental skates they'd need. When she said her name, it rang a bell and I knew it was the mother of one of my students. The student had big issues in both of my subjects, often missing homework, disturbing the class, and so on, and I've tried contacting this lady for ages, but have been ignored. Now, I do draw the line between both jobs, so I didn't ask her about school just 'cause it's not the right place for it there and would have been unprofessional. I fill out the form and then give the mother the timetable with the available times for birthday parties and asked her which one she'd like. After she studied the timetable for a few minutes, she asked me if other times are possible too. I told her that they aren't. She seemed a bit disappointed and just stared at me blankly. After about 3 minutes, her.
And? Have you thought of a solution?
Well, there are 2 options. Either you choose to have the birthday during the available times, or you have to reconsider the plans for the party.
I was more hoping that you could make room for the party at a different time.
Sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. I am not in the position to change the schedules.
Couldn't you call your boss?
I could, but he's not in the position either.
Don't mess with me. He owns this place, so he can decide.
No, the ice rink is a public accommodation. My boss merely rented the restaurant from the city to offer this service. But we can't change the schedule of the training sessions as they are the responsibility of the city itself.
There has to be something you can do for me. I'm willing to pay a good amount of money to have my daughter's birthday party here, so it should be in your interest to make it happen.
I'd be glad to host your daughter's birthday party here, but only during the opening hours. You can use the restaurant during the training sessions, so if you want to extend the stay after the public skating, you can do that, but won't be allowed to go on the ice.
I'll have to call my husband about this.
In the end, she did agree to that solution and arranged an appointment with me. To avoid awkwardness, I stayed in the kitchen the day they had the birthday party and my friend took care of the guests. Thing is, they didn't show up. At first, at least. 20 minutes before the end of the public skating, they showed up, put their stuff in the restaurant, and put on the shoes. We thought maybe they aren't that keen on the skating and just want a nice stay in the restaurant and watch the practice. It's a very popular thing to do for ice hockey fans. 20 minutes pass, and they come to the restaurant, order their food, and all is good. My friend wasn't having any trouble serving them, and I was happy with just preparing the food. But after an hour or so, they decided to go on the ice and interrupt the training session. If you know anything about ice hockey, you'd know it's dangerous to have unprotected kids go on the ice randomly during puck drills, etc. So very quickly, the children were taken off the ice again. The mother took notice and got furious. I could hear the conversation she had with my friend through the kitchen door.
How dare you ruin a child's birthday party?
My friend was like, "Sorry, but you showed up late. The public skating times are over, and interfering with the training session is too dangerous."
Your coworker said I could be here during training sessions.
This must have been a misunderstanding. If you want to, we can just arrange a new party during the public times.
I want a refund.
Sorry, we can't do that as you've already had food and used our services, but I would compromise on arranging another party free of charge at a different time.
My daughter is a very busy student. She is sitting in front of her textbooks and homework all day to keep her straight A's, and she has many talents which she has to keep up after school, too. She doesn't have the time to stick to your stupid schedule. She isn't a lazy teen who abolishes their responsibility for leisure time like your other customers. But tell me, mister, do you really want to punish my daughter for being a responsible child and focusing on her education?
I've heard everything and decided to intervene. I tell her, "Your daughter is actually my student. She often misses homework, has big difficulties following the class, and I'm happy when I get to put a C on her tests. I also often enough see her play on the school playground while I'm preparing my lessons. You, on the other hand, have not had the time to even answer my calls regarding the troubles of your daughter. So if you don't have the time during our opening hours, I'm very sorry for your daughter, but don't lie in order to get advantages." She looked at me in a very judgmental way and shook her head while walking off. She comes back with her daughter and asks while laughing in a condescending way,
This poorly dressed teen claims to be your teacher. Can you believe this?
The poor kid went white and ran off. To be fair, I don't look like a teacher. I can't grow a beard, so I look younger than I am, and I dress like a teen outside of school simply because hoodies and sweatpants are more comfortable than button-downs and dress shoes. I feel sorry for the child because she was very embarrassed by this, but I didn't want the mother to lie to my friend. In the end, the mother hired a nanny for her child's birthday party, which they then held during the public opening hours.
Leave a comment on this video that says read, or I'm going to take whatever you're watching this video on and give it to my daughter. And subscribe to Mr. Reddit and make sure channel notifications are turned on, or I will be speaking to your manager.
And congratulations to our new Read General, Gotcha Turtle. Got like 100 of your Read comments held for review. I'm going to approve each and every one of them. Thanks for the reads, you guys. This stuff is freaking funny. That's all for now, but don't be blue. I'll be back soon with more stories for you. Remember to listen to Mr. Reddit every night, so your dreams will be wonderful like you are and bright.